The CIA called it science. The victims called it torture. Hidden for 20 years. Until now. This is the story they tried to bury. Washington, D.C., 1953. The Cold War at its peak. America feared the human mind. So the CIA acted first. The document was cold, clinical. Test the limits of human endurance. No one asked for consent. 80 institutions. Secretly involved. Universities, hospitals, prisons. Comunicação intra-atriafunda. Subjects never knew. Agent Marsh arrived before dawn. Used no real name. Left before sunrise. Staff learned not to ask. Cole worked 11 years, without question. Believed completely. History would judge him differently. Subjects nobody would miss. The most vulnerable Americans. Most never knew they were chosen. Subject 47 came for anxiety treatment. Trusted the doctors. That trust was their tool. LSD, heroin, barbiturates. Given without consent. Days, weeks. Measured carefully as research. Behind the mirror, they watched everything. 2 people recording suffering like weather. Not once did they look away. Marsh processed hundreds of reports unread. Stamped classified. Moved on. Preferred not to know. 80 universities unaware of their students. Fake grants. Shell organizations. Professors never questioned the money. After 72 hours, he forgot his name. Cole noted it as a breakthrough. Family told he was improving. Tapes ran 24/7 for 20 years. Marsh checked them like a clock. Most destroyed before Congress saw. Prison wardens paid for access. Inmates told participation was voluntary. Refusal meant solitary confinement. Cole reported to CIA quarterly. Results impressed them. More facilities. More subjects. More funding. Some experiments in suburban homes. Subjects thought it was a friendly visit. Every lamp, clock, wall. Listening. Week 3. Same questions repeated. What day is it? Where am I? My name. Cole wrote answers. Never told the patient. Senate investigation begins. Marsh instructed. Clean the files. 2 nights. No hesitation. 1977. Senate hearings on MKUltra. Packed room. Entire country watching. Admissions stunned everyone. She confirmed events carefully. Explained nothing. Apologized nothing. Retired 6 months later with full pension. 20 years of experiments. Hundreds of victims. 0 prosecutions. Everyone retired with clean records. Do you think justice was served? Comment below. Experiments crossed into Canada. Montreal's Allen Memorial Institute became a CIA lab. Citizens had no idea. Electric shock erased memory. Some received it 30 times a month. Cole called it depatterning. 1973, Director Helms ordered all MKUltra files destroyed. Cole supervised personally. He believed the secret would die. Shredded for 2 days straight. Thousands of files. Hundreds of experiments. Gone. Nothing to tell anyone. Subject 47 released after 14 months. No explanation. Apology. He spent life trying to remember who he had been. Soldiers were told it was routine health screenings. None of them understood what they actually signed. Marsh recruited professors personally, never explained the funding. Most signed without asking a single question. 72 hours. No food, no light, no human voice. Isolation was their most efficient preparation method. The monitoring never stopped, day or night. Marsh circled the most significant moments in red pen. Cole filled 47 notebooks over 20 years. Every breakdown, every reaction, all in the same cold handwriting. Some procedures were performed without any consent. The subjects were told it was standard medical treatment. Marsh had one rule she told every new handler. What happens in the facility stays in the facility, always. By 1960, the program had expanded to 15 countries. Cole called it the most important work of his generation. They asked him to write his name every morning. By month 2, he could no longer do it. Marsh attended every lawsuit hearing personally. Not one case resulted in a single criminal conviction. Hypnosis combined with drugs created permanent changes. In many subjects, those changes could never be reversed. The safe houses looked like ordinary suburban homes. The CIA considered normal neighborhoods the perfect cover. The same recorded messages played into their ears for days. Cole called it psychic driving. The subjects called it madness. By 1965, the program spanned 80 facilities across America. Every new location was approved without debate. The 1965 report called MKUltra a complete success. Cole read it 3 times. It was the closest he ever came to pride. He called it success. The victims called it destruction. One man's progress destroyed hundreds of lives. Comment: how should history remember people like Cole? The day they released him, nobody explained anything. He stood in the doorway for 11 minutes before stepping out. Marsh filed every completed report personally. She trusted no assistant with the most sensitive documents. Cole visited universities twice a year, unannounced. The students had no idea the quiet man at the back was CIA. He sat in the same diner every morning for 6 months, hoping something familiar would finally come back to him. By 1972, pressure to shut MKUltra was growing fast. Marsh fought to keep it funded at every single meeting. The termination order arrived on a Tuesday morning in 1973. 20 years of work ended in a single page. Files that couldn't be shredded on site were moved at night. Marsh signed off on each box before it disappeared forever. Every therapist told him the same thing. Your memory gaps are unlike anything we have ever seen. Cole answered 41 questions with "I do not recall." He walked out exactly the same way he walked in, untouched. They sat 10 feet apart and said nothing of substance. America watched, and nobody went to prison. America woke up to 3 words: CIA, mind control, real. Cole read the front page 3 times without moving. He picked up the phone and said, "Begin the contingency plan." When the truth came out, Americans took to the streets. The CIA called it a manageable public relations situation. When the story broke, Marsh worked through the entire night. She fed another stack into the shredder without looking up. The first congressional hearings began within weeks. Marsh passed the CIA witness notes throughout every session. He watched the Senate hearings alone on a small television. He had no documents, records, nothing with his name on it. Cole sat before the Senate without his clipboard for the first time. 41 questions, 41 variations of the same answer. The senator asked her directly if she felt any remorse. She paused a second, then said, "I was doing my duty." Civil lawsuits arrived from survivors across America. Not one resulted in a criminal charge against Cole personally. He found a lawyer willing to listen in 1978. The lawyer read his list and said, "This changes everything." 10 years searching for answers. One lawyer who believed him. He finally had someone who believed what happened to him. Comment: do you think survivors like him ever got true justice? The government offered settlements to confirmed survivors. Accepting meant signing away the right to ever speak publicly. Cawley retired in '79 with full pension and commendations. He lived comfortably for 23 more years. Within 5 years, MKUltra was being taught in universities. The same institutions that had participated in the program. The settlement letter arrived on a Thursday morning. He held the pen for 2 hours without signing. The CIA continued operating without significant reform. The building looked exactly the same from the outside. Marsh continued advising the CIA informally for years after retirement. The program may have ended. The network never did. In 1990, archivists found boxes that survived the shredding. They revealed the true scale of what had been hidden. He spent years collecting every published MKUltra document. Slowly, the picture of what had been done to him became clear. New evidence from surviving records reopened cases in 1995. Cole's answer to every new question was still exactly the same. Marsh watched every new development from her retirement home. She died in 2003, having never apologized to anyone. Survivors held their own memorial in 2001. They placed flowers for the ones who never recovered enough to come. He placed his flower last, stood the longest. He finally knew what had taken everything from him. Decades later, the CIA issued a carefully worded statement. They never once used the word crime. Cole died in 2002 in a private nursing home. His obituary mentioned distinguished government service. Nothing. The files that survived are still being studied today. The question is not whether it happened, it is whether it is happening still.